Hello and welcome to yet another interesting session of Rendezvous from Cinema4Screen. Uh, and Today is a very special day because today is World Bollywood Day. Today is 24th of September, World Bollywood Day, and we are here today from every part, from different parts of the world, and we are going to discuss about Bollywood and its relevance in today's time. So, before we start with the interaction, I would like to introduce our special guests today. We will start with Mr. Yousaf Saqib. He is the founder of Agile Group, and he currently serves as the president and CEO of Agile Group. Prior to forming Agile Group, he was Enterprise Development Manager at Aga Khan Foundation. His other previous positions include Business Consultant, Deals Manager at Munnik Munnik Consultants, Business Development Coordinator at National Union of Horticulture Development in Afghanistan, and Business Development Coordinator at USAID funded project, Afghanistan Small and Medium Enterprise Development Project. He also served as Business Development Specialist at Afghanistan International Chamber of Commerce. He has joined us today from Turkey. We have Mr. Yousaf. Hello and welcome to the show.
Nice meeting you. Thank you for having me.
We also have Mr. Avijit Banerjee from Kolkata. He's a very renowned producer, director, founder and director of Adjeet ad agency, chief advisor, Morton brand Ghee. And interestingly, he won the 69th National Film Award for the year 2021 for the film Ethos of Darkness as the best science and technology film in the non-feature film category. Obhijita, congratulations to you and your entire team for this fantastic achievement. We are proud of you. We also have with us Mr. Anshuman Chaudhary. Obviously, other than him, the program would have been really incomplete. He is the founder of Cinema4Screen, and I would like to thank. And he is he's been in the media field for more than 2 decades now, and he has joined us from Mumbai. And I myself, right now in Kolkata, I am Dr. Sudipta Roy Chaudhary. I'm an academician. I'm into teaching right now. I'm associated with the college, and apart from that, I have also been associated with the media world, with PR, advertising, and communication for many years. And now we formally we are not actually having a formal conversation over here. So let's immediately start. I think all of you, we all love to watch movies, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Apart from Mr. Yousaf, what about you? You have a really, really different kind of a profile and different kind of a schedule. So how did it feel when I call you up and I say that you have to talk about films? What was your instant reaction to that? Please unmute yourself. You need to unmute.
1 minute. I'm so sorry.
Thank
Thank you so much, first of all, Dr. Sudipta, for organizing this discussion. And I welcome, I'm so happy to be part of it and having the friends again there. We were in another session as well. So, Bollywood, definitely, everyone knows about it. And me coming from Afghanistan, Afghan people actually they love this Bollywood movies, and they watch movies. So for me, when you said that you're organizing this event and there would be a discussion about movies, so I got some experience and what I've seen, which I'm going to be presenting it through the along the session. So I'm so happy to present what I have experienced about Indian movies and Bollywood movies through the session. Yeah. So let's see.
So do you watch movies? Do you watch Hindi movies from Bollywood?
Yes, Dr. Sudipta, let me just give you a bit of a background of the impact of the Indian cinema generally, and then of course I will just give you a brief on how does it really affect the people of Afghanistan basically. So the Indian cinema has really create a positive impact of India globally. It really projected India as a country of cultural richness, diversity, and tradition. And of course, it really helped in promoting the Indian values across globe. People know when there is Indian, they automatically know about their culture, how they do things, and how they are basically, and they learn this from the movies. There, there are a lot of people, they have never been to India, but when you tell them that anything about India, but they would be able to give you certain information, and that really they learned from the movies basically. So that being said, the Indian cinema has made effect on the people of Afghanistan as well. Like people like Indian movies, what I've noticed, and like watching Indian movies, I believe for two reasons. The first reason I believe is because of the Indian movies revolve around fighting injustice, corruption, subjects like that, which are, I believe, the ground realities, unfortunately, in our societies. So when people watching movies and they have subjects like this, and then they have their favorite stars, heroes, and they watch them fighting these kind of issues, and they become victorious. Then they really, these subjects touches their hearts, and they become the lovers of the movie, and of course their stars as well. And of course there could be another side of this, which is the entertainment. People like to watch movies to just have fun and enjoy their time. I have to tell you, you may have this information, but I have to tell you that Afghanistan was among the, I would not the biggest, but I would say the good market for the Bollywood movies until the early 1990s. Indian movies used to be played in Afghan cinemas in the bigger cities like Kabul, Mazar-e-Sharif. So people used to go along with their families, and they used to watch Indian movies there. And they've got this attachment with the Indian movies. So there were certain movies. They were so famous. I still remember, the Khuda Gawah. This was a movie. It was also, I think, shot in some parts of it in Afghanistan, in certain parts, when Amitabh Bachchan came to Afghanistan, and along with the delegation, they even met with the former president, Dr. Najibullah, back then, because they were giving so much of importance to this relationship of the cultural links, or these historical links between the India and Afghanistan. So I think there are several movies shot in Afghanistan. Most recently, there was the Kabul Express, Turbas, and of course, as I said, Khuda Gawah, that was another movie. And most importantly, something which really is interesting, in most of the, not most of, but in a number of movies, you will find it somehow that Afghanistan or the people of Afghanistan or somehow Pathans are subject of the story. So we see them like often, and most recently this movie of Shah Rukh Khan, the Pathan. So we see that this very successful commercial film had a link to Afghanistan. So that really shows that there is, interest of watching Bollywood movies in Afghanistan. I have to say this: this connection between people of Afghanistan, and then of course this historical links between India and Afghanistan. It also created an opportunity for some of the Afghan who are now currently in one or another way is part of the Indian Bollywood family. We have a number of them. I don't exactly recall their names, but they are working in the Bollywood movies, and they are creating a space for themselves. Now, coming back to Afghanistan, there is something, unfortunately, as I said, like previously, we used to be having Indian movies in the halls of cinema, in the cinemas hall in Afghanistan. But currently, like we are not playing, or there is no movies playing in the cinemas. But we really hope that someday we have this opportunity to have the Indian movies play again in the cinema halls in Afghanistan. I will just shortly or briefly touch another part of what you said, Dr. Sudipta, regarding the movies, or if people in Turkey watch Indian movies or not. So yes, there are people. Generally, as I said, know, like when there is Bollywood, everyone knows about it. That I've noticed in several occasions when I had interaction with people. People know about the culture of India, how they are, and as I said earlier in my beginning, so it people got to know all these things from the movies, because they did not travel to India. They did not see, they did not had many interactions with the Indian people. And then Indian people in Turkey are not in just less, maybe several families here and there in different parts of Turkey. But the most interesting part, I have to tell you that the very famous TV channels here, they are playing Indian dramas. They're dubbed to Turkish language. And in our family, we are watching. And other Afghans that I know, they say that they keep watching this particular TV serial. And of course, it's not for the foreigners who are living here, but Turkish people themselves, they keep watching. And these, most importantly, the TV dramas which are aired, they're aired in a very prime time. So this means people like watching these dramas. And of course, there are several movies like played on different TV channels, which are dubbed into the Turkish language, and they're playing. So there is, I would say, important thing that India is creating through movies. Globally, they are impacting and encouraging people to watch, learn about the Indian culture, understand who they are, what they are aiming. So I would say that it's everywhere, including Turkey. people watch it and they enjoy watching, and we
What
of course
happens in the
enjoy watching
background of
movies as
Bollywood?
well.
What happens behind the screen? The different kinds of technological glitches that happen right now over here, and how you have dealt with, because you happen to be a producer and a director. You've been in the floor. You'd worked with the technicians. You've come up with this documentary that had been awarded, which got the national award. My question to you would be that behind the glamour of Bollywood, how would you like to define this particular industry? How do you think? And you've been working for, I think, if I'm not wrong, more than three decades now. Sorry, it has got nothing to do with your age, huh? Anyways, so it's been more than 30 years. So, what had been the evolutionary journey in terms of the background of movie making? If you can tell us about
Uh, Actually, hello to everyone. I just want to say one thing. Once, when I've started at the age of 20, I'm telling you to be frank, at the age of 20, I have started this thing where I have no formal education. There was no such institutions also. Only there was FTII. I have started my career mm, with the films, being assistant, being as observer. You can say I have just started firstly. So I have gone there in my Bengali film industry. I have just gone there to be an actor, but no one give me a chance. As because you can watch my face, you can think about my height, and it is obvious no one will give me a chance of being an extra also for exit of 50 rupees. But then I have started thinking. Actually, I was there to create something. I have tried to express my ideas through celluloid or something like that. That's the thing. This is the important period when I was just carrying the cans as per the instructions of my producer or my director or my cameraman. They told me just go there and deposit this particular can to that lab and take the negatives from there. So I never thought, what is this? There is a can. It's a film can. You may see in a different movies also. That can I have just given to them, and they give it back to me, and I again come to my director or my producer and give it hand it over to them. That was my first thing I have just encountered with the celluloid. I know nothing about all the material, all the detailed things. What is this in this particular can? But after the long journey, when I am becoming assistant director, then I was pushed off like a observer, and some union problem was there. I have changed my career. I have gone through advertising agencies and all the other media things. But my thought process was running with that. What was this in that particular can? There is some celluloid, and it was changed. How it was changed? It was my, you can say, from my inquisitiveness, I thought that what was the film and how it changed. I have seen the film. I got entertained from my childhood, but I never thought it is the film when I see being a director of the film, being a director of the, I mean, producer of the film. I first got a chance to take and to handle that thing. Then the idea was there in my mind. Those people who did this change, they are the masterpieces. I have tried to find it out. But in Bengal, I think Ungshuman, you may know, in Bombay, in Bengal, but probably I don't know about Yusuf. You may not interact with the celluloid things. That was the interesting thing. We bought a can from a company like Kodak or Fuji, and then we're giving it to the cameraman. They shoot as per the instruction of the directors and the performers. They are performing everything. And after that, some people in the lab, they develop that film strips and they give it back to us. That is the thing. Yusuf, you may, I mean, whatever I think, that you may have shot in a hot shot camera. Have you used any camera with the cellular or film? There is a very interesting thing. You bought a reel from the company. You just shoot and give it to the studio. They will give you some printouts and you would just watch for the memories. This is the photographs. The same thing that from that negative, some print was just came out of that, and that was the print of the film with the sound. It is a different thing. One, it's a very technical thing. Both are just compared and just joined with each other and became the married print. That is with sound, audio, and with the visual. And it played in the theaters through the projector, and then you watch and enjoy the film with sound, with the visuals. That is the trick of cinema. Bollywood, they did it in Kolkata. Mr. Hiralal Shin, probably he was the first person, I think so, but he didn't make a film continuous with a storyline. He made a first film with some still pictures. But after that, Dada Shaheb Phalke, he did that thing. The main story is there. Those people in a chamber, it is a closed chamber, no lights. Those 2, 3, 4, 5 people, they're working together and just put that negative into a chamber. I mean, another one, another bath, and they have no time. They don't know what is the time. They can't watch the thing. They have no watch in their hand also. Some assistants just waiting outside the room. They are knocking. It is the right time to get it out. Just think. Some people are just dripping that negative into that reservoir and waiting for the result when it will come out. It may be 5 minutes, it may be 4 minutes, it may be 6 minutes, as required. But that chamber is closed. There is no way to come any light in that. There is no way to get any air, fresh air to breathe a people. All the people, they hold their breathing as much as little they can take the oxygen from the air, and they're just doing their jobs. For the case of occasional photos which we were shooting at that time, there is only the 1.5 feet length. For a film, it is one can equal to 1,000 feet. Think about the timing. What time they are consuming in that dark room. Once you just dip that negative, I mean raw material into that bath after exposing, just dip into the bath, come out with the chlorine, come out with the fluorine, come out with the bromine. Sometime it's come out with the cyanogen. And those people, there's 4 or 5 people, they have to breathe that air. Feel about their lungs. What happened with them? You can heard the stories that once a director's son become a director, musician's son become a music director. I mean, cameraman's son become again cameraman. But you never give an example. The developer's son become a developer. That's because those people died with COPD for the sake of the cinema.
Never thought about this thing actually, the lab process and all which you have said. I think, yeah, you can say, please continue.
Continue.
That once I started to digging the history of the cinema, then I have seen that thing. You may give the name of the directors, you may give the name of the producers, you may give the name of the hero and heroines and musicians, I mean singers, everyone you can get the name, but you cannot mention the name. Who did that develop? They developed those people for the sake of the name of the Satyajit Ray's films, or for the Hitchcock's films, or who those are those peoples who did the developing work for Charlie Chaplin. That was the dark side of our industry. We are just getting the entertainment. All the people who are becoming famous, they're getting the money, they're getting fame, they're getting age and everything. But everyone, almost everyone in the industry, we recognize the name of the studios. We may give the name of the studios. Owner of the studios there they got the awarded. They were awarded for the sometimes at the era of celluloid. But you cannot mention any one developer's name. And that was my question to my seniors. From whom we got the lesson of film, like Shyam Benegal, like Govind Nihalani, like Rajkumar Hirani. I just gone to them and asked them, tell me why you have just forgotten those names. And they told ultimately that Shyam also told me, yes, film industry was guilt in the past. They did the wrong. And that was the thing. It was in my mind. I have just kept those names to the record in the film history. For the cases of Bollywood, for the cases of Tollywood, for the cases of Hollywood, they have to accept those names. And I just expect that they will keep the record. These are those peoples who did this industry and entertained all the people at the cost of their lives. That was the motto of the film. I think I can express my ideas over there.
Absolutely. It was really a totally different perspective. Obejida, how much time did you require for the research, for the background research?
The continuous 3 years time.
Three
At the
years
time of Corona, I got a very good chance. And
to
thanks
do
to
research.
Corona also, it is a positive thing for me in the
Yes.
time of Corona. I got all the records from the everywhere and I just collected, please send me through. And I have passed my time. That is a very dark time for the world, but it was the darkest thing, whatever I did.
But why I
And it
actually
becomes
asked
possible.
you that how much time you took for the research, because I also want to make one point to all the movie lovers, that there is so much of hard work behind the
Yeah,
entertainment that we get to see on screen, and
exactly.
that is given so less weightage. Even the youth of today, they want to get things fast. They want to get glamour fast. They want to, the ones who want to be into the industry, and they want their name, fame, recognition, money, everything so fast. My next question would connect to this thought. Anshuman, you had been in the media business first, and now you are into teaching students who have interest in media, those who want to do something, make a mark in this particular industry. Uh, what would be your one important thing, tip which you would like to share to all the interested youths, who wants to have a career? Because even I am also into teaching profession, and people want things very fast. Today's youth, they don't give that time for they don't have that patience. When I talked about research, I mean, if you say that, okay, if this is a subject where you need to understand as an insider and be a party to it, be part of that, you need to do a lot of hard work, and your hard work is obviously uh, not just knowing about the different film theories, the different film genres, but also the techniques, the evolution, what other people are doing. Because people are so kind of, they want to show what they have done. Where is the time to actually do a research and find out that what had been the things that had already been done in the past, and how they can actually come up with something new, something different. So for today's youth, for the students who are interested to have a future in this particular sector, Anshuman, how would you like to address them? What would you like to tell them?
Okay, so I actually I've I've learned filmmaking. So after that, I joined. I've started working in Z and also as and then I like Avijit. Also, I've been into doing ad films myself and all those things. But from 2009 onwards, I it was actually something which happened. I channelized into an media education. So since 2009 onwards, I'm into training students, actually uh, training the students and providing and making them understand that how education is important. Like I always tell the students and all, like if you want to become a medical professional or you want to become an engineer or probably dental or anything, so you need a proper training to it. Like if you don't have an engineer degree for 4 years and all those things, nobody will probably recruit you, right? So that is something which is, I don't know what is the myth in this industry. Like uh, the students comes in with that kind of an understanding कि okay मीडिया में education की जरूरत नहीं होती है वो I can learn by standing, because see learning is, it requires lot of training there, and that is what from 2009 we are doing that thing. Earlier it was with different institutions. That is one of the reason why we launched this in, like Avijit, you also, we launched this platform in 2020 itself, when there's nothing to do at home in the lockdown period. So that is how this whole platform came up. And we started a film festival for kids also. So from international, the last year we got a very good response from international fraternity as well. We have received films from last to last year. We have received films from Afghanistan also. Turkey definitely we have received. So probably last year I think we have received from around 44 plus countries in our festival. So that is something which we are, and exactly our motive is that if you want to come into this industry, because as you know, we all know this industry is very volatile. Sometimes you have a job with you, sometimes you don't have. So you have to prepare yourself for that, for the bad time. So that is where the education is something which will only help the kid. It's like the same thing case goes with me as well. Like in my downtime, the education, because of the education, I survived and I switched over to some other professions and all those things. So some things, all those things happened. So it's completely a case study which I give it from my life as well. So that is something which is very important, and that is what we are striving for. And Sudipta, I'm really thankful to you that you have taken this topic, because it's completely, she bounced this idea with me. And I'm really thankful for Avijita and Yusuf, that you have come to our platform to share your views on the Bollywood. So
Oh,
I think this,
I would also like to thank Anshuman for, because as he was talking about the COVID time and the cinema for screen, so I remember we used to discuss, because incidentally I also happen to be a founder member of this cinema
yeah,
for screen. So we used to
congratulating both of you that you were trying to do
give
something for
physical,
cinema.
yes, to do something for, we have kind of
Absolutely.
united for cinema. So
Absolutely.
now
this signal.
Again,
chat,
signal is
but
creating
it
the
is
problem. Yeah,
becoming a
chat.
very serious discussion with films and all that. So, so coming back to the chatting thing, Yusuf, my next question would be actually to you, because you, since you've lived in two different places, two different locations, now in Turkey and previously in Afghanistan, I would just like to ask you quickly that. What do you think? The people of Afghanistan are more Bollywood bound, or the people of Turkey are more Bollywood bound? Like, what is your observation on that? Who are the ones who prefer Bollywood movies more, and which is the yeah?
Thank you, Mr. Dipta. As I mentioned before, uh, I believe people of Afghanistan are more bound to the Indian cinema, Bollywood movies, than Turkey. It could be because of the historical and cultural linkages between India and Afghanistan. That could be one reason. Another reason would be the language, because most of the I would say people in Afghanistan, they understand Hindi or Urdu, so it is easy for them to watch movie and understand what is the context of the movie there. And
Movie.
there is a lot traveling used to be happening between India and Afghanistan. So people used to go there for business purpose, and they're living there and they're coming back. So they bring those cultural values or understanding of them to Afghanistan, and they keep sharing with people. So that, I think, is the thing that made Afghan people understand the Indian cinema, watch them
Exactly.
and learn from them. But when talking about or comparing it to Turkey, I understand there is a lot happening in terms of trade between Turkey and India, but but there is, I don't see that much of involvement of cultural issues between these two countries. And another issue is the language. Turkish people do not speak Hindi or Urdu, so it makes them very difficult for them to just randomly pick a movie and watch them. They will have to dub that into their language. Like back in Afghanistan, I remember in the cinemas, movies were not dubbed into Pashto or Persian language or Dari, which are the national languages in Afghanistan. So people play the movie in the original language, and they understand what is they are talking, what is the context of the movie. So that is, I think, the linkages, the cultural linkages between India and Turkey. That could be one reason, I believe. Second, and the most important reason could be, the language, which makes them difficult for the Turkish people to get connected to the Indian movies and have that great bond as the people of Afghanistan are having now.
Great. Now I will be asking you about, in fact, each one of you, if you can recall the first Hindi movie that you have watched, the experience, if you remember. To each one of you, if you remember your first Hindi movie watching. It can be on television or it can be on big screen. Yes.
I don't know. There was no television, Sudhita. I'm too old. You can see my mustache also. I've seen only in the movie, in the theater. And the name of that film was Hindustan Ki Kasam. And from that thing, yes, and it has an immense impact in my mind, and that's why I joined Indian Air Force. I'm telling you to be frank. After that, yes, I was aircraft. I was just training in that Air Force for only 3 to 4 months, I think so. And after I realized that I am becoming a soldier, I don't want to be that. I want to be hero in that particular film, and I'm becoming a pilot. But I never thought that my height is only 165 centimeters. This is not the allowance height. I was just got into it being a rudder operator. But after that, I thought, no, this is not my cup of tea. I just get out of that thing. But that is the immense effect of Bollywood films. I'm telling you, immense effect that may change the direction of your life also.
Absolutely.
True, absolutely. Anshuman, do you remember your first Bollywood movie that you went to watch?
It was Satte Pe Satta actually. So we all were family, myself, my sister, we all went there in the theater and watched that film. That was the film which we remember. And so definitely, it was a nice film.
Okay.
Fantastic film. Double role of Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yousaf, do you remember your first movie-going experience, Bollywood movie-going experience?
Well, honestly speaking, since I'm not from that background, I remember something. I started watching movies that was like early 1990s, maybe 1992, 3. I think I watched the first movie back then, and that time I was living in Peshawar. I was not living in Afghanistan, so that's like another big another story. But we were there, and in cinemas.
What was the name of the movie, if you can recall?
I don't exactly remember the name of the movie, but I remember it was Adjeet again movie. I remember that. That I remember. I watched it in one of my friend's house. So previously they have to bring a VCR, what they used to call it, with the. We were invited basically to go there and watch that movie. I don't exactly remember more about that movie, honestly, but yeah, later and then in like my university time, and then still now, I keep watching Indian movies. My family likes Indian movies. My kids, they like watching, though they do not understand much, but they say they are good movies. I used to watch most of, I would say, Shah Rukh Khan's movie. I've watched them. I like Akshay Kumar for the funny parts. I watched most of, I would say, his movies. I did watch Salman Khan's movie, Amitabh Bachchan. I would say like I've watched all these big superstars movies, and there are certain movies that really are educational, and you of course learn from them as well. So it is always good experience. Recently, I watched the last movie I would say I watched was Pathan. Uh, I really enjoyed, and I'm looking forward for the his next the current movie Jawan, which is making a noise in the social media. So I'm planning to watch, but unfortunately, in here in Turkey, you hardly get a new movie played on in cinema. It's not like UAE, or it's not like USA or some other countries. I think something has to be done, like the Indian cinema, Bollywood, like whoever is in the head, they should do something to promote Bollywood movies here in Turkey as well. I remember Salman Khan came here, and Amir Khan visited Istanbul, and we have seen, because they have their certain TV channels which are only for the showbiz or these movie related things. And we have seen a lot of crowds coming to greet these two stars. So this means that these people love these people, and they watch to watch their movies. But the thing is that something has to be done so that can facilitate to dub these movies into their language, or make promotions like as they do in other countries. They go to Canada, they go to other countries to promote their movies. They could come to Istanbul. Istanbul is a city of more than 20 million people. There are Indians living, Pakistanis living, Afghans living, Turkish people, of course, the majority. And then you have people from across the world. You have like Arab from Gulf countries, you have from Central Asia, you have people from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka, and from, I would say, all over the world. It's a big city. So if it starts and they build up this awareness, promote their movies, so I'm sure people will love to go to cinema and watch them. So I don't know, like the question was something I just went so far to
No, it's
far, but
absolutely fine. I mean, that was really a different kind of, as I said,
Yeah.
thought altogether. And that was the purpose that we have this chat, so that we understand Bollywood in different forms. Because Bollywood movies is not just about, a movie with 200 crore, 500 crore budget and then entertainment. It has got a lot of other factors also, because uh, our everyday life is influenced a lot by movies, especially Bollywood movies, and Bollywood movies, whatever is being made. That is also a representation of what we get to see every other day in our everyday life. So it's a screen representation of facts and vice versa. So that is actually the significance and the most important part of the movie business. That it is one part of it is entertainment and entertainment and entertainment, and the other part is information, knowledge, education. So it's basically very wholesome. So, there was a time when movies itself was looked down upon. It wasn't really considered to be something like, if you're talking about the evolution of cinema in India, and of course world cinema, if you're talking as a matter of fact. So from the evolution, from the stages, the different stages of evolution till the time where we are standing, obviously the notions initially had not been that great. But over the year of time, with a lot of technological advancements, with a lot of people coming in, with a lot of new thoughts, the entire scenario has changed, and we have to accept that it has influenced our life maximum, and we are also influenced by life, and everything that is happening in movies has got some connection with our thought process. Because if we are, for example, if you're taking class, if you're taking session, if you're uh, kind of conducting meetings, far effective method would be when we see things happening on screen. So and when it is presented through stories, that is actually giving us a lot more depth, a lot more association with what is actually happening. So that's what I believe. uh,
Exactly.
Now, I have something which I haven't told anybody. I'm going to have a small rapid fire round for all of you. So I am going to ask few questions, and you're not going to think. As you know, it's rapid fire. So let's start that with. Now, I want you to, I mean, you say who would want it fast?
But you haven't
The first,
mentioned your first film which you have
my
seen.
first, I don't remember. One of my firsts had been Sholay, which I went to watch with my family. And I remember it was a single screen, because when I was growing up,
Yeah,
it was single screen, it wasn't multiplex. Uh,
There was no multiplex.
there's no
and
one. Yeah,
very surprisingly, I found people were throwing coins in the hall, and
Exactly so.
I didn't understand that why they are doing it. So it was Sholay. So like after the movie, when we came out, and I asked my father that why people were throwing coins. So he said it's normal when we were kids, like when they were kids. So if something good was happening on screen, something exciting happening, Gabbar Singh coming in, so coins were thrown. And my dad told me that actually those people who show you the seats inside the dark auditoriums, they are the ones who ultimately get those coins. But people are so excited and thrilled that okay, oh, this scene is there, this song sequence is there. So this was one of the
Particularly on the dancing sequence, they are throwing their
last
coins.
item numbers, which we call nowadays in Bollywood. They were not termed as item numbers, but that was the time when they used to throw the coin. So another movie, another such experience, which was very, I still remember, that was when Maine Pyar Kiya had come. Salman Khan's Bhavish's first movie, which is super duper. I was in school, and all my classmates had watched that movie, and I couldn't. I felt that I was left out. So on the day my annual results were out, and my parents said that every year I used to get a gift on my annual exam result declaration day. So like, what do you want? So I had told beforehand that the same day my results are out, I want to go to the evening show for Maine Pyar Kiya, because everyone in my classes watched, and not only that watched. That time, when we were in school, we used to remember the dialogues, and we would discuss
Exactly
that
so.
in class. So how much we
It
could
was a
remember about the
culture. It was a
characters.
culture.
yeah,
Yes, it
Exactly.
was a culture. It was a culture. And we would also write it down, in 1 month, how many movies we have watched on TV
Yeah,
and and in auditorium. So there used to be a list.
exactly
And
so.
yes, yes, and that was fun. I mean, then we used to keep the tickets. Then
yeah,
when I discussed this with my dad, like,
Just imagine that Yusuf may not know that thing. The
yes,
only one dialogue, Yusuf, just think, it's a huge film, Sholay. Only one dialogue that was uttered by the Shama, one villain character, assistant. कितना आदमी थे और नहीं कि कितना रुपया था उसका ऊपर तो उन्होंने क्या ऐसा कुछ बोला 50,000 तो गब्बर सिंह बोला पूरा 50,000 और कोई डायलॉग आदमी का था ही नहीं दैट वाज द ओनली वन वर्ड 50,000 दैट वाज सो स्ट्राइकिंग एट दैट मोमेंट एवरीवन कैन रिमेंबर दैट थिंग पूरे
and
पचास
also like
हजार
कितने आदमी
and
थे?
sir,
कितने
another
कितने
आदमी थे
आदमी थे?
सरदार 3 आदमी ये दैट इज द क्रेज ऑफ बॉलीवुड
Craze
थिंग्स
of
वी
Bollywood.
हैव टू थिंक that only one dialogue can make one person
Yes.
so
so
famous.
famous he built up that his career.
Actually, in that movie, in Maine Pyar Kiya, we have another very famous dialogue. ये दोस्ती में no sorry, no thank you. I think
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
changed the concept of friendship.
Exactly, exactly.
And one more thing which we should remember: buying tickets for the from the theaters.
Yes,
Oh,
and there used to be long queues.
Yeah.
You know?
No, Sudipta, you may not know the thing. I also did. My height is short, Mr. Yusuf. If you think my height is short, that's why I was always in the first in the queue. And because you have to just pass between the legs and all the things, and you have to go and just put your hands in the counter and get it and get the advantage. And
Yeah.
that was the life. Once you get a lucky coupon, I mean, almost lottery in your life, that you got the ticket. That's the
Absolutely.
thing. It was amazing, amazing, amazing.
It was amazing. No, I remember that when I was a kid, every Friday evening after school, my parents would go to watch movie. They will also tag me along because there wasn't anybody at home to take care of me. So I didn't understand, but I used to look forward for that Friday evening because I knew that it is going to be different. I don't have to study that day, so I can go with them and I'll just sit there. So I mean, yes. So that is all about Bollywood. So it is kind of it's there in our
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
there
Just
in our
Bollywood days.
I
Sorry.
I, I would just add something to that. Or not add, but I will just say I totally agree with this. What you've said, Mr. Avijit. It is the same in Afghanistan. When there are certain dialogues. Kitne Aadmi The, this one which
Yeah.
you have said, it is very popular there. And I believe this is from the Munna Bai movie. I remember like when people are outside in the market and stuff, so they used to say, tension de, lene ka nahi, dene ka hai.
देने का है.
Dene ka hai. So you see that this is not even their language, but they keep using this in their daily, activities and different situation when they get into because I'm sure that they learn from the movies. Like it just does not come from anywhere. So it is the effect basically, and that movie becomes like a very popular. That character becomes very popular, like in the Sholay movie, because that's a very good movie and it's watched. Uh, I would say by all people, not the new generation, but like I would just put it like the old generation, definitely. Everyone has watched. They know about the characters. They know about the Hima Malini. They know about Dharmender. Then, like all these characters, because they were so important, and there were certain dialogues which were that really touched the people's hearts, and that are still there. But I believe that the movie was made like more than 30 years ago, if I'm correct, or may be wrong. But it's still there. So you're
No, no,
absolutely
it
right.
was made in the year, it was released in the year 1973.
73.
Today is a year, Soleil was there in 1973.
So this means like more than 50 years then.
73,
Yes,
I mean
50 years.
73, 7,
it
no,
has
no, no,
come out
it is 77,
73.
77, 77, 73 it was made, 77 it was released. I think so.
So
To think about it, it is more than 50 years, but still we can remember that dialogue.
that
Just one
dialogues.
dialogue, everyone will be connected then and there. कितने
Yes.
आदमी थे? That is the success of Bollywood.
And
That is the
interestingly,
strength of
the
Bollywood.
man behind the making of this movie, Sholay, Ramesh Sikpi.
Shippy.
So when I was in
There
Mumbai,
was Selim Javed ji. Those the
yes,
names who wrote the dialogues. That is Selim
yes. So
Javed ji.
I
The
happened to get a
next
chance to interact
everything.
with Ramesh Sikpi because I was
Very well
associated with
lucky.
the institute.
But very
So
lucky.
and he's such a down to earth person, and like when you meet this person, I mean, you feel like they are so very down to earth. They're so very grounded, and this person has actually made a cult movie because for every movie student they need to watch this kind of a movie. And I
Exactly.
remember I also met Gulshan Grover, who is called the bad man of Bollywood.
Bad
He's
man
such
of
a
Bollywood.
good man. When he was,
He's very
I
good
met him
person.
in a seminar, and we were just talking, we were interacting, and I was actually see the connect the way Bollywood actually influences us. And I was talking, I was finding this man is too gentle and too sober. Is he the same person on screen? I mean, how it is possible? So that is
Ongsuman can relate the thing that different ideas he had taken from those Bollywood films. You have
Yeah.
to admit this one.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Okay, now we will be going to that rapid fire round. So let's start with Anshuman for a change.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So your most favorite hero.
Most
Don't think it's
favorite
a
hero.
rapid fire. Yeah.
It's Uttam Kumar.
Okay, Uttam Kumar. Okay. Most favorite heroine till date.
Till now, it's Suchitra Sen.
And your one most favorite movie.
Sholay, definitely.
Okay, now can you give me names of the same from Bollywood? Most favorite hero in
Sorry,
Bollywood.
sorry.
Most favorite hero in Bollywood.
It's Amitabh.
Amitabh. Okay. Heroine.
Amitabh ji, definitely.
Heroine. Sorry.
Heroine is Jaya Bhaduri.
Jaya Bhadri. Okay. And your most favorite movie Bollywood till date?
Uh, Sholay. Till now, it's Sholay.
Till now is Sholay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Um, Abhijit, the most favorite hero, heroine, movie
In Bollywood, in Bollywood,
in Bollywood. Yes. We are celebrating
Amitabh,
Bollywood Day.
Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no other already.
Okay. Someone from the recent times, your most favorite hero right now, till date, at present?
Right now, Rajkumar Rao.
Okay. And most favorite heroine from the past and one from the present.
From the past, it was Hema Malini. You can say this one. I can tell you now it is Madhuri Dixit, you may call it.
Okay. Yusuf, most favorite Bollywood movie till date.
Uh, Honestly, there are many, but I
One.
remember
You have to
I
name
used to watch a lot Mohabbate of Shah Rukh Khan.
Mohabbat.
I like that one, but I will also include their movie.
Okay.
I also like that too. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
Mohabbat or Dar? Which will
yeah,
be number one?
Mohabbate. Actually, that was that I
Okay.
liked
And
it
your
so much.
most favorite hero and heroine in Bollywood?
Because as I said before, like in the Afghans really watch these movies, so it's several, but I like Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah, I
And
like him
heroine?
for several reasons, and I like
Oh,
Deepika Padukone. Yeah, I keep watching, and she's doing good at it.
great, great. That's an interesting angle to the whole conversation.
Yeah. I hope that my wife is like next door.
Yeah,
She
that's
does
what, like, I didn't say that and you read it.
not.
Okay. So, now I would like to each one of you, my question, the last question actually for today's session would be your take on Bollywood movies then and now. How do you think they have influenced our society till date? We start with Yusuf.
Well, I wanted really to hear from Mr. Avijit and Anushman because that's a very important question of this whole uh, discussion. Like I think it has two sides. Like if the movies are made on the right subject and right context, and it's aimed by promoting certain values, so it really can help and impact on people. So for example, there are certain movies that are encouraging people for the education, for the science, for example, and giving people the importance of being a national of certain countries and do good for their countries. So these kind of things really affect people to follow, or they learn from them. But then, of course, there is a negative side of this as well. If the cinema is used in the wrong direction and the wrong way, it will leave a negative impact on the people. So I believe, like from my perspective, like if I'm looking from outside, because we do not have that well organized cinema in Afghanistan, I cannot talk about it. But what I can assume, what I can think of the Indian cinema or the impact on the people, what I see is that people are in love with the Indian cinema and they follow the good things which are happening in the cinema, and that can be shown in their daily activities. I hear, or sometimes I watch these watching the short clips on the social media and Facebook, and there are several of these people who are doing this in India, and they are just copying what these people or what the movies have shown them, and they are just bringing them to show them again to people. So I think that really made that impact on the people. So, as I said, if the movies are made on a good subject, and a right context, and they see the ground realities of their societies and their people, and they make a story of on them, it will definitely have a very good impact on the people. Yes.
Thank you, Yusuf. Abhijita, what would you like to say about this?
I have already told that is the thing how Bollywood films influenced me to set my aim in life also. Just think about that. That can be done. I think in today's context, all the, people, all the students, they're coming from different social status and from different social economic status. One major thing I have noticed that they start losing faith to the person who is in front of him or her. When we watch the movies, we enjoyed a lot. Something I'm just telling you, I believe in my childhood that Amitabh Bachchan cannot come back after Sole, as he was dead. I don't believe Ranbir Kapoor was a person, he can make another film also. I believe he was dead in Hindustan Ki Kasam. That was my faith and belief in my mind. And in that perspective, I grown up. But nowadays, for the cases of social media, what Yusuf told already, in today's context, with so availability of all the people's life and everything, students and all the new generations, they are coming up with this idea that they are something like neighbors of ours. I can watch his toilet, I can watch her bedroom, I can watch something like that. As because business and all the things on commercialization of everything, stardom and the thinking process is totally changed. We are losing faith to others. That is the main problem, I think. So we have now, it is a very bad time, very bad time. If we lose this type of faith, it will create a lot of problem in our society. But Bollywood is still trying to do this thing. They are making the historic films also. That's just to give us the memory for that. For new generations, they should be attracted on that. But people are not doing this. They are not following all the good movies like Mongal Pandey, what did by Amir Khan, and also he is trying to give us very good lessons for us. But people are not interested, deeply interested with that thing. We are losing the concept of hero. Now you have just asked me who is now a hero in your idea, Sudipta. I have told the name of Rajkumar Rao, but he's an actor only. I'm
Right,
telling you.
correct, correct.
You
We
cannot
don't have
say
to
the name of
stars nowadays.
we have no hero.
We don't have to.
Anshuman
We
can
don't have
tell me once upon a time, and not only that, Yusuf is junior than me, as I seem to be. Yusuf can tell this one. Mohabbat of Shah Rukh Khan. He was hero. Shah Rukh
yes,
Khan. It is not a film of Chopra. He told me that Johar. It, the name are faded. It was the only name of the heroes. It is a Rajesh Khanna's film. We don't know who is the producer of that film, who is the director
it
of
was
the
a
films.
Dilip
We
Kumar
don't
movie. It
know.
was a Devanand movie.
Dilip Kumar's movie,
It was a Shammi
Devanand's
Kapoor
movie.
movie. Correct.
But nowadays, you cannot utter that language. It is Rajkumar Rao's film. It is Anshuman's films. It is something Blur's film. Everyone is becoming actor. But in Hollywood, there is still there. It's a Tom Cruise's film. But that thinking process is going to be changed. I don't know what will come out. I will always hope for the best. May happen, it will come again a very good thing for us. But this one problem is going with us. That's it.
Correct. Anshuman?
See, I think change is, as we all know, change is inevitable. So it has to change things. Second is the filmmakers are actually showing those things which are actually happening in the society. I think for everything there is a plus and positive and negative into it. Social media, which Avijit has said, I completely agree on that. There's no concept, at least in the Bollywood industry. There's the youth and all, they have lost that the concept of the heroes and the hero worships and all. But South, it's still there.
Still,
But in Bollywood, definitely when we are seeing it from this thing, it's getting diluted day by day because, as rightly said, uh, because of the social media. I think there's only one thing which I need to point out, that is like in this kind of thing, like the social media and the marketing stuff, we see lot of good contents which are actually getting lost. So because the youth, the audience is more focused on the social media, the marketing and all those things, so that it has become like jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai. So that is has become a thing of with the Bollywood right now. I think that needs to be changed, because when I see in any of these platforms, like in Amazon or this this kind of a platforms, OTT platforms, you happen to see a lot of good contents which are there, which needs to be there in the theater, which people should go and watch it. But no, there's hardly few actors who are actually still dominating in that thing, because you're pumping lot of money into the marketing stuff. uh, I think that's something which we are trying to propagate this thing, and we are trying to educate the youth. They should understand, uh, because you need to watch a film. Like in European countries, they know how to watch a film, so they respect films. So here we see it from a different perspective. So education is again will definitely change the whole perspective towards uh, looking at the films. So that's something which we need to. It's nothing to. I'm not for or against Jawan, but yes, or Pathan. But there are n number of films which, in the middle, in that period, lot of good films have also released, which we really don't know. So probably we don't know because uh, the producers or the directors, they lack the fund. That's where the youth also, the audience also, they couldn't understood, or they didn't went there to in the theaters to watch the film. So that's my take with the Bollywood thing.
Right. So, thank you, Anshuman. Thank you, Abhijita. Thank you, Yusuf. Actually, this brings us almost towards the end of the session. Actually, Bollywood, a topic like Bollywood cannot end in 1 hour, or 2 hours, or 3 hours, because it's a continuous thing, present continuous tense, with a rich past, and I'm sure with an amazing future. uh, and we all of us as viewers of Bollywood movies, also as individuals, we can contribute our part, because all of us some way or the other, of course Yusuf not directly though, but of course he's a very important part of Bollywood because he's a viewer. Anything great that we are
absolutely.
making, anything creative that we are having, we need to have somebody to on the other side of it. So he represents that, and today it had been our session today had been really rich because we discussed Bollywood across countries. We got various perspectives, on screen perspectives, behind the screen perspective, and Bollywood as an educational value addition to whatever that we get to see in our everyday life. And I hope that we in future will also be collaborating on some common platform to discuss more about cinema, And so on this note, it's a like today's session is basically to celebrate World Bollywood Day, to reach out to people having interest in films, in movie making, and let's see in future we can connect. Maybe we can collaborate on some common point about movie making, and we all can come up with something new. It's a, as all of you mentioned that yes, it's change is inevitable. So changes are happening, and I really hope that that change happens always for the better. Something new comes up, something unique comes up, and may this fantastic world of movies keep ruling, because end of the day we all want entertainment and entertainment and entertainment. uh, so thank you so much for joining today,
Thank you.
and
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sudita.
Thank you. Thanks a lot,
thank you for
Sudipta.
taking time
Thank
out
you.
today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Steve. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Have a good time.
Bye.